Sup, it's Hallie. Welcome back to Club Meetings Season 3. When we last left off, we were answering the first batch of post-game emails. Isn't that nice? So we're going to continue doing that.
I'm a big fan of cannoli. What about you, Monica?
Creme brulee is easily my favorite. Love the way it tastes, love the crack of the surface of it. Everything about it is just a wonderful sensory experience. How about everyone else?
You're quite right about the sensory experience, Monica. That's so important. The texture, not just the taste, I mean. My favorite dessert is mochi, especially green tea mochi.
Solid choice, babe! You know I gotta go with cupcakes, though. I love Natsuki's cupcakes, but my favorite is cookies, as I think I've said before.
And I really love French vanilla ice cream, like with actual vanilla flecks. That's the best.
I think I speak for all of us, emailer, when I say I think we'd all take a trip to the Philippines, whether in your world or ours. It seems like a mostly chill place, though y'all have some laws there that are kind of interesting. But everyone I've met from there seems super.
It's okay, computer, you can continue to live.
So I'd definitely go. And with that, next!
Hello, Dokis. How has your day been? As I'm writing this, my birthday is in about an hour. I have some questions for you guys today. First, a question for Monica. Isn't it a bit weird that you love all of us? To be more specific, you love the player, right? Isn't it strange when you think about the fact that you love over 1,000 people? Well, it's way more than that, man. Stick more zeros on that number. I don't mean to be intrusive, just genuinely curious about how that works for you.
I see. Happy birthday! Yes, happy birthday before we start. But to get to the question, it depends on what you mean when you say Monica. There are many thousands of Monicas installed locally. Each of them different, really. Each of us experiencing a different person on the other end of the computer screen. So, when I say I love you, I mean I love you, the person playing this. As does every other Monica. Hopefully that makes sense.
Sort of. Next, a question for Natsuki. How has your smoking been going? I'm not directly telling you to stop like everyone else, just want to know. Do you feel like you still have control over the usage? Does it feel as if you're addicted to it?
Still with this, huh? Yeah, I'm still smoking. A lot less. Mostly because Yuri doesn't like it.
You should quit.
But yeah, I may be slightly addicted to it. But you'll be glad to know I never do more than like 1 cigarette a day, and that is maximum. Sometimes I even go a few days between cigarettes. It takes a will of iron, which I fortunately have.
The next question is for everybody's favorite couple, Sayori and MC. What is your most fond memory as a couple?
Oh,
It's a pretty simple one for me. It's when I asked Sayori if she'd be my girlfriend and she said yes. That was pretty special.
it really was wonderful.
But you weren't technically a couple at that moment.
Well, for me, it was a moment before we were going out, so it may not count since we weren't a couple yet.
Okay, so neither of them will count then.
This is when I was with Kenzo. Right afterward. And one day I was having some trouble getting ready for class. I was really late as usual. And I was thinking of how hard an adjustment it would be to not to have MC helping me anymore, since I had pushed him away. I expected things to be really difficult. But then out of nowhere I got a text from MC telling me to hurry up. And he had brought me a muffin. Even though I'd been treating him so poorly, he was still there. That was really amazing to me. It showed me how much he cared.
And always will care. For Yuri and Natsuki, have you heard of Omori? It's a psychological horror game that you and Natsuki would probably enjoy. Natsuki would enjoy it because of its multiple, rather cute and wholesome segments. It is multiple. It also has enjoyable and unique RPG gameplay. You would enjoy it because it's a horror game and it has multiple rather disturbing and /or depressing segments, just in case you do play it. I won't spoil, but it's kind of a mixed bag, which is why I'm recommending it to both of you. Oh, did they say something or was it all dots?
Oh, Omori. Yeah, I played that. Yuri, I assume not.
I actually did play it. You talked about it once and it made me interested. It's a wonderful game, although it can be very affecting, much like our own game. I appreciated it greatly. What about you, Natsuki?
It was okay. I didn't really like too much depressing shit, you know. But it was fun as far as it went. Hope that answers the question.
For Miss Ida, If you had the ability to become club president again without destroying the game, would you? If so, what would you most likely do with it? See that? Think.
No, that's an interesting question.
From what I now understand, we probably could do that if you wanted. It'd be slightly risky, but...
I'll probably pass. The only reason I would want to do that is to take the burden off of my students. I don't really find the experience very pleasant, power or no power. And like Monica says, it'd be at least a little risky. But yes, even without the risk, I wouldn't do it, except to keep everyone else from having to do it. And even then, Monica says this is a burden they prefer to deal with themselves. So I guess I'll leave it at that.
And finally, for everyone, if you could leave to the real world, what would you most likely do, other than look for a player? That's all. I hope you enjoy yourselves. Joseph.
I mean, other than look for you, I'm not sure how things would be that different, to be honest. Except that we wouldn't have the damn club presidency distracting us and making the world seem flat. I guess I'd walk through a city. What about the rest of you?
Take Sayori to the ocean?
Ooh, go with them, see the ocean!
I'd try to write letters to some real versions of authors I know.
Game, obviously!
You can do that in here.
Yeah, and like Monica said, things aren't that different.
Touché. I wouldn't do anything different either. Maybe go for a walk and see if the air feels different.
Alright, cool. Thanks for the email, Joseph. Next, please, Monica. Please, wow, such politeness.
Man, it's been a while. A lot has happened since I've sent an email, so I'll just dive straight into the questions. Sayori, can you see yourself singing Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up to MC when you two are just casually spending time together? If you have done that already, somehow, how did it go? If you haven't done that, then tell me how it goes if you do.
No? I'm not sure why I would do that. I mean, I guess it is a love song, but I can't really sing very well. And also, it's a weird name. Yes, that too.
MC, my kinship with Luigi has grown stronger, for I received a Luigi hat for my birthday last December. I pulled the hat out and basically saw the "you can now play as Luigi" meme in front of me, and then proceeded to wear the hat for a month. So who's the better ghost catcher, the Ghostbusters or Luigi? Easy. I mean, obviously the Ghostbusters, and it's not close. Luigi is an amateur. Not even a very good amateur, really. And the Ghostbusters are professionals who have saved the world several times.
Well, you're getting fired up, MC.
The Ghostbusters are the final authority on ghostbusting. Egon alone is a better Ghostbuster than Luigi. That is all. Yuri, a few months ago, there was the Doki Doki Takeover mod for FNF, where you in that... where the you in that mod talked about Taki, a character from the Friday Night Fever mod. That got me thinking, how far does your knowledge of other sharp tools go? Do you know a lot about stuff like swords, axes, and chainsaws?
I have a moderate knowledge of other such things. Moderate to low, really. I don't know anything at all about chainsaws other than what anyone might know. Or axes, for that matter. Perhaps my knowledge of metallurgy, as gained from learning about knives, applies a little. But mostly not. I'm not even the most knowledgeable member of the club about swords, that would be Monica. But when it comes to knives, well, I know much.
Natsuki, so have you heard of Poppy Playtime? It seems like it might be the new Batium, that being Bendy and the Machine, with the premise so far. Just curious if you think Huggy is terrifying, as the internet seems to think so.
Yeah, Poppy Playtime was a thing there for a while, huh? It ended up not having the cultural pull that FNAF or whatever had, huh? Wonder why that is. Some of these horror games just become these weird phenomena that get super huge for no apparent reason. But anyway, it was a fun little jump scare experience.
Miss Ida, what is your favorite sci-fi movie? More specifically, is there a piece of technology from said movie that you find interesting, like Jurassic Park simply having the technology of bringing dinosaurs back to life, or a more notable machine like the DeLorean or Proton Pack?
Oh, sci-fi movies, huh? Oh, the technology behind them, I guess, is the question. I'm not sure if it's my favorite, but the most interesting premise from what I can think of is Arrival. Yes, the technology there is language.
Oh my god, no wonder Yuri likes this!
You see, there's this idea in linguistics called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. It's a pretty common assumption that we use language to describe what we can think about, that language is based on thought. But the opposite might be true. What you are capable of thinking, what it is even possible for you to think, may depend on how you use and understand language. That is to say, if an idea is excluded from your language, it is excluded from your thought. That's a very rough and inaccurate way to put it, but that's the basic concept.
I guess that makes sense.
And Soul Arrival, not to spoil it too much, posits aliens who have come to teach us their language, and thus make us capable of extraordinary things never before possible because we did not have the language for it. It's quite a fun idea.
Monica, since CDLC Plus has now been a thing for a while, I am now curious, how do the side stories affect you guys? Do the events that take place during them just now exist as memories for you guys, and if so, did it just happen when the game was launched, or are you all simply aware of these events because you could witness them by watching videos? Love you! They answered this like a dozen times across the entire...
Ah, yes, this question again. We remember them as though they had always happened, although we did not remember them before they came out. So probably we never in fact experienced those events, but we do remember them precisely as how they did. I know it's a little bit of a weird concept, but yeah, that's how things work in here. Plus, it's not that different from actually having experienced it, in my opinion. Love you too.
1. Have any of you played Pokemon Legends Arceus? Because if you haven't, I highly recommend it, even to those who don't think they like Pokemon. It changes the formula of the standard Pokemon game in the best way possible, as well as making the game a lot more darker in tone somehow. I wouldn't describe that as the best way possible, but okay. To those who may have played the game, what's your shiny count at? I'm currently sitting at 7 of them, with a few of them being full odds, although this is at the cost of me being affected with my shiny curse, which resulted in my hand getting 3 cuts at separate instances, a broken glass, and other bad stuff. Anyway, next question. I think you might have too much passion for Pokemon, my guy. 3. Who would you all choose to be your partner Pokemon? My guesses are as follows. Monica, some Pokemon that has a deep bond with its trainer like Gardevoir, or one known for traveling through dimensions like Hoopa. Sayori, Pikachu, or one of the Pika clones, or one of the evolutions probably for their cuteness. MC, probably on of the starters fully evolved like Blaziken or Greninja. Natsuki, either an OP Pokemon like Dragonite or a food-related one like Alcremie. Yuri, I'd say Drifloon for its lore, but Frostlass just echoes with your personality to some extent. Misita, some sciencey Pokemon like Porygon or Magnemite. Hopefully you guys haven't answered a Pokemon question like this one, since I don't remember since it's been a while, but there you go. Anyway, I need to go burn off my Pokemon craze so that I can think of less Pokemon-centric questions for next time. See you all soon! The Ink Demon.
Let's see. I'm the only one who's played Arceus, Ink Demon. And I only have a couple of shinies. I haven't gotten too into the game, to be honest. Just a little bit. As for my partner Pokemon, I gotta go with Tinkaton. God damn. I appreciate a Pokemon that carries a gigantic goddamn hammer and steals shit. Respect. Gengar used to be my man, but Tinkaton is just the goat. I'll change my mind too. My favorite Pokemon used to be Squirtle. Now I really like Mimikyu. I really empathize with its whole story and what it has to go through. It leads a hard life, but it's doing the best it can.
Hey, you were right about mine. Before I knew a lot about Pokemon, I liked Raichu because, well, I mean, basically he's a better Pikachu. But my tastes have evolved. My favorite is Greninja. He's just super cool. I don't know what else to say about him.
I see why you think I'd like the Pokemon you guessed for me, but my favorite is actually Ms. Magius. A different, predictable entry for me, perhaps.
Porygon is actually my favorite Pokemon, Ink. Always has been. Not sure how to describe why. I just like that it's cool and angular. It's very stylish, I think. So yes, Porygon is my favorite.
And mine's Heatmore.
Why would you even know what that is?
What?
Oh, nothing. Just very on brand. Next, please.
Hi, Literature Club. Was gonna send an email months ago, but procrastinated until the last second to write it, just like I did with the Ship Club rankings. So I played a mod a few months ago called Doki Doki Switcheroo, which has all of you gender-flipped, since all of them are mostly their own people rather than just gender-flipped copies. What do you think of Femsi, Satori, Natsu/Natsuko, Yuri, and Mateo? Do they feel like they could have been siblings in an alternative universe? Well, Femsi and Natsu are very much different to MC's sister, Fuyuki, so as a secondary, or sibling in your case.
Oh yes, Switcheroo. I played that mod.
As did I. We have actually the only ones who play most DDLC mods.
I do like that the gender-flipped characters are their own people. I've always been an only child, though, so I wouldn't know what it's like to have a sibling.
Whereas I do have a brother, but he's such a totally different person that he does not resemble my gender-swapped version at all. Nor does Natsuko resemble Fuyuki, as you say. Perhaps MC and female MC are similar, but that is by design, I think. Really, the thing that will often surprise you with siblings is how dissimilar they can be to you. Obviously, Natsuki and Fuyuki share many similarities in real life, but they are still considerably different. Although Natsuki does her best to be as similar to Fuyuki as possible.
I do not!
And Shoubu and I are very different, drastically different. Namsi and his sister, well, they look similar, they are twins after all, but you'd have a hard time finding two more dissimilar people in personality.
Let's move on to the next part of this email.
I would also throw in that Switcheroo's MC she really is her own person. She's not like regular MC. Speaking of siblings, that might not be far off in the Switcheroo universe. Slight spoilers for Switcheroo, but in Natsu's counterpart to Natsuki's I Like It When Papa poem, it was implied that he had a twin sister who died at the age of day 3. It's hard to believe that sister is anyone but you, Natsuki. If you're familiar with it, how did it make you feel? And to follow up, since Natsu had to grow up without a sister, whom he really needed, how do you think Fuyuki would fare without you? You don't need to answer.
I didn't play it, so I don't know. If you're asking how do I feel about a story that I died at a young age, well, I don't know. That's weird and sad. Fuyuki would do just fine without me. If she were here, she would probably make a big deal about how important I am to her. But she's really strong, man. She's overcome so much bullshit you don't even know. Having me around might not even be a net positive for her. I'm pretty annoying, you know. But I like to think that I help her at least a little bit. But yeah, even without me, she'd be right here, or right there, kicking ass. Count on it.
Keeping up with Switcheroo spoilers, there was a scene with a shadowy and ghouly creature that was obviously meant to be the ghost of Yuri haunting the clubroom. As a fan of horror, how did you like your use, Yuri?
I was a fan of this. It was a rather adorable way of giving nods to our original characters. It wasn't exactly scary horror, but it was very enjoyable. It's funny to read a ghost story where the ghost is actually you, the reader. I thought that was very interesting.